Hello and welcome back to another series of GameHammer Daily. We're going to start with something big, something great. It's Bosconian. Let's get straight into it. Created in 1981, Bosconian is one of the earliest examples of a non-linear space shooter game. While some might consider it a precursor to the open world genre because you can go wherever you want within the confines of the game world provided, I wouldn't quite stretch the descriptor to that extent. What I will say instead is that Bosconian is one of the greatest arcade games of its time. That might sound quite a grand statement to make, but allow me to back it up. It won the 1982 award for Best Science Fiction and Fantasy Coin-Op Game in Electronic Games magazine, beating the far more famous Zaxxon and Gravatar into second and third place respectively. You've heard of Zaxxon, I'm certain of that. You've probably also heard of Gravatar. Have you heard of Bosconian? For many people, the answer is no, and it's time to change that. Bosconian is a simple game at heart. Your aim is to navigate your way through 255 levels, getting the highest score possible by shooting asteroids, missiles, enemy spacecraft, and destroying space stations. There's a limited time on each level, but no on-screen timer, so you've got to keep track of how long you've been going on each level yourself. That makes for a more frantic game, and it actually helps to keep you focused. For the highest amount of points, you will need to destroy the enemy gun turrets on the space stations rather than simply going for the central control sphere each time. The turrets are worth 200 points each, and there are 6 on each station, but destroying the station by blowing up the central sphere when it's open is worth 1,500 points. So my recommended tactic is to blow up 5 turrets, then go for the central sphere, since destroying all 6 turrets will destroy the station as well. Enemies will fly at you all of the time, so you have to be careful. Mostly they randomly generate on their own and then move onto the screen to attack, but on occasion they will come in a formation. This is an opportunity to score extra points, but only if you take out all of the trailing ships before you destroy the lead ship. You can tell which one is the lead ship because it will be a different colour from the others. If you destroy that one first, the following ships will disengage and attempt to flee, so try and save the lead one for last, because otherwise you'll be chasing these ships all over the place. Now all of that's explained, you know pretty much everything that you need to in order to play Bosconian. So why didn't more people play it? Well, the sad fact is, the game is easy to keep going on, but hard to achieve a really high score with. As a result, the player turnover wasn't all that quick, and that means coins weren't being fed into the machines at the same rate that they would be if someone was playing Space Invaders or Galaxian, which the Bosconian cabinets could be easily modified to play instead. So arcade owners either didn't buy the machine in, or tended to modify it to run something that would make them more money. The game's open nature and non-linear gameplay are what make it great, but it's also what makes it less profitable to an arcade owner. So many machines were modded to run Galaxian instead, which makes Bosconian a less common arcade machine than would otherwise be the case. The game had a few ports back in the 80s. It was ported to the Sharp X68000, the Sharp X1 and the MSX. Its sequel, Bosconian 87, made it to more computers, but that's a story for another day. These days, unless you can find an arcade machine, you're more likely to be able to play it on a Namco plug-and-play device from the early 2000s, or via compilations such as one of the Namco Museum collections for the PlayStation, PS2, GameCube and Xbox. I absolutely do recommend that you do play it, because I wasn't kidding when I said this is one of the best arcade games from its era. The game is fast-moving and brilliant. It's not quite as simple to get to grips with as Space Invaders, but it's not far off. Once you understand that the goal is to destroy the space stations without getting yourself killed, that's all you really need to know to get to grips with the game. It follows the golden rule of arcade gaming: simple to learn, difficult to master, and I love it for it. So go and play it, it really is well worth it. And there you are, Bosconian, my personal favourite early arcade game. In fact, I first found it on a Namco plug-and-play arcade. That's how uncommon the arcade machine actually is. I was around in the 80s and interested in arcade games, but never saw it until the early 2000s with the Namco plug-and-play. Now, of course, I play it on the Mac via my PlayStation 2 because of Namco anniversary, Namco Museum 50th anniversary even, and I love it. It is such a good game. I recommend you give it a try if you ever get the chance, especially if you get to see the original arcade cabinet. Well worth the experience. But that is all we've got time for today, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you did like this, the first in a new series of GameHammer Daily, and if you did, remember to click that like button, share it with your friends so that they will know some good games when they see them, and do subscribe for future videos because there will be more in the future. But until next time, I've been Kirk-Robinson, you've been watching GameHammer Daily on the Knob Mouse channel. I'll see you tomorrow.